At 28, I had long accepted my role as the family's afterthought. My sister, Claire, 2 years older, was always the center of attention. The brilliant one, the beautiful one, the chosen one. She was the kind of person who walked into a room and made people stop and admire. I was the one who held her purse. My parents adored her, showering her with praise and affection that I could never seem to earn, no matter what I did. I brought home good grades. Claire had straight A's. I landed a decent job. Claire got a promotion and a celebratory dinner. When Claire announced her engagement to Daniel, my parents reacted as if the royal family had extended a proposal. The excitement in our house was electric. Every conversation revolved around floral arrangements, venues, and the custom gown Claire would wear. I offered to help. I really tried. But every suggestion I made was brushed aside with patronizing smiles. "Claire has a vision," my mother would say. "Let her shine." Eventually, I stopped trying. The wedding was extravagant. White roses draped across golden chandeliers, a 4-tier cake crowned with sugar flowers, and a guest list longer than my resume. I wore the pale lavender bridesmaid dress that Claire insisted I would look decent in. I stood beside her on the altar, the perfect accessory in a wedding I had no place in. When the time came for the reception speeches, my parents took the microphone. Their eyes sparkled with pride. "We have a special gift for our daughter and her new husband," my father announced, and with a dramatic flourish, he handed over a velvet envelope. Inside were the deed to the family home, legal ownership of our grandfather's business, and every single piece of heirloom jewelry from our grandmother. Jewelry I had once been promised a share of. I felt my stomach twist, my cheeks flushed. People clapped, some even teared up. I sat frozen at the table, stunned, silent. That was everything my family owned of value. They gave it all away without a second thought. Then, as if salt needed to be poured in, my father strolled over to me with a smug little envelope and said, "Here you go. Don't embarrass us tonight." Inside was a $50 gift card to a department store. No message, no note. Just that. I felt something in me break. Or maybe something hardened. I raised my glass with a smile and said, "Enjoy your little crap. Keep it all." I saw his smirk fade before he turned away. After the wedding, I moved across the country without so much as a goodbye. I cut ties and went silent. They didn't reach out, not really. And I didn't look back. I poured myself into graduate school, earning an MBA while working nights and weekends. I slept on a pull-out couch in a friend's studio and survived on canned soup and ambition. Bitterness became fuel. After graduation, I spent 3 years working in supply chain management, studying the market, identifying weaknesses, learning how legacy businesses, like the one my grandfather built, had failed to evolve. Then I launched my own company, lean and tech-forward, one that directly competed with my grandfather's old supply routes. And I succeeded. Within 2 years, my startup was acquired and then spun off into a larger logistics conglomerate, with me running operations. I kept my name off press releases. My legal ownership was buried in corporate layers. Quiet power is the most satisfying. One morning, I got word that the family business Claire inherited had filed for bankruptcy. The house had long since been sold to cover debts. The jewelry? Pawned. Every shred of their legacy, gone. They'd bet it all on appearances, image, and Claire's vision. Then, one afternoon, a knock came at my office. My assistant entered hesitantly. "There's a family downstairs. They say they know you." It was them, my father, mother, and Claire. Hollowed, thinner, tired. They looked like ghosts of the people they used to be. My father, once so polished, wore a wrinkled polo. My mother's perfect blonde curls had grown out, streaked with gray. Claire looked older than me now, lined with stress and regret. "We lost everything," my father said, as if I didn't already know. "We need help." "We made mistakes," my mother added. "We thought we were doing what was best." Claire stood silent. staring at the floor. I opened my drawer and pulled out an envelope. Inside was the same $50 gift card they gave me at the wedding, never used. I handed it to them and smiled. "Here you go. Try not to embarrass yourselves." My father's face collapsed. My mother blinked rapidly, holding back tears. Claire finally looked up, pain etched into every line of her face. I shut the door. The voicemails started a few days later. At first, accusatory. My father raged. "You think you're better than us? You wouldn't have anything if not for us." Then the tone shifted, pleading, apologizing. "Please, we're finished. We need you. Just a little help." They begged. They cried. My mother left a message at 2 a.m., whispering through sobs. "We're sorry. We were wrong. We didn't see you." But I didn't return their calls. I listened. I archived. I moved on. Did I feel guilt? Sometimes. They were, after all, my family. But then I would remember the look on my father's face as he handed me that gift card like it was a joke. I remembered being told not to embarrass them. I remembered how no one noticed when I walked away. Now I have a thriving company, employees who respect me, mentees who look up to me. I started a nonprofit that helps overlooked students get into business school. I speak at panels. I invest in startups led by people like me, the underestimated. And the house? I bought it back from the bank 2 years ago. I renovated it and now lease it to a young couple who couldn't afford a down payment. I tell them to build memories there. That place was never home for me. Claire and my parents now live in a small apartment across town. I know this because I anonymously cover their electricity bill every winter. Not for them, for Daisy, the dog they nearly gave up. She's the only one who ever looked at me like I mattered. Last week, my father left one final message. His voice, once commanding, trembled. "We're sorry. You were never a disappointment. We just didn't know how to raise someone like you, someone strong." Maybe one day I'll call him back. Maybe. But not today. Today, I have meetings to lead, decisions to make, people who count on me. And in the drawer of my desk, there's still that $50 gift card, unspent, untouched, unforgettable. A relic from a past I no longer belong to.